Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your friendly neighborhood Diamond, back at it again with another video. Yes, we are back with the consistent uploads. And whoa, comment of the day by Beanie Bows and More Fun 13658. They say, yes, Diamond is back after almost a year. Thank you so much for making this. Plus, also, I just wanted to say that I love all the hard work you do and hope that we will get to see more of these lost episodes in the future. Thank you. Thank you so much, Beanie. This is the future of Diamond right now. I'm back, and I'm back indefinitely, and we're gonna take this to the moon. So this is a very special video. Actually, I got an email. I never checked my business email, but I did. I finally decided to scroll down there, and I found that, oh wow, some fans have messaged me. Shahzada Malik sent me a script to the lost episode of Family Guy. He calls it Family Die. Yes, DIE. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. It could maybe use some work before I turn it into a video. But yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Thank you so much, Shahzada Malik, Mr. Malik. I am going to make your video today. So without further ado, play the intro.
We used to rely.
The flickering fluorescent light of my friend Jake's basement cast long and eerie shadows across our faces. We were huddled around his laptop, a bottle of cheap soda in our hands, seeking a late-night thrill. "All right, let's find something truly disturbing," I said, my voice echoing slightly in the damp air. Jake, like the daredevil he's always been, scrolled through YouTube, his eyes gleaming with a mischievous look. "Found it," he said, a chilling grin spreading across his face. "It's called Family Die. Sounds promising, right?" We exchanged nervous glances, but the allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. We clicked on the video, the screen instantly filling with a grotesque, demonic face. A blood-curdling scream erupted from the speakers, sending shivers down our spines. "Holy crap!" Jake yelled, jumping back, the soda now slushing out of the bottle. His girlfriend Sarah, who had been quietly observing us, let out a startled gasp, clutching Jake's arm. "What the hell was that?" "What the hell was that?" she whispered, her voice trembling. The video cut to black. The title, Family Die, flashing across the screen in a menacing red font. Children's sobs echoed through the speaker, crying, and then the terrifying sound of a gunfire. But these weren't distant movie gunshots. These were raw, visceral, like someone was being executed in the room next door. Then came the sound, a sickening, wet, teary sound, like flesh being ripped apart. Sarah squeezed Jake's arm so tightly, I feared he might lose circulation. "Turn it off!" she pleaded, her eyes wide with terror. Jake, however, seemed mesmerized. "No. Wait," he hissed, his voice barely audible. "I want to see what happens." The scene shifted to the iconic Family Guy house, but it was eerily different. The vibrant colors were replaced with a sickly yellow hue. This color casted an ominous pale over the familiar setting. The whole house seemed different. The family sat huddled together, tears streaming down their faces. "Mom, the horse is back," Chris whimpered, his voice barely a whisper. A chilling silence followed, broken only by the soft sniffling of the children. Louis slowly turned, her face pale and drawn. Standing in the doorway was a creature that could only be described as a nightmare, given form. It resembled a horse, but its features were twisted into a grotesque parody of equine beauty. Its eyes, vacant and black, seemed to bore into our souls. Its neck smeared with a crimson substance that, well, it could only be blood. Louis let out a scream that shattered the silence. "Ah!" A sound that seemed to pierce our very bones. The creature lunged, its teeth sinking deep into Louis's skull. Blood spattered across the screen. The sound of the bone crunching echoed through the room. Oh, God! Sarah gasped, covering her eyes. The children, Meg, Chris, and Stewie, huddled together, their cries of terror echoing through the house. Brian, Brian, the family dog, whimpered, cowering in the corner. This is so rare. This never happens. He approached Lewis's lifeless body, her skull now a gaping maw, her brain gone. Gone. The level of detail was horrifyingly realistic, as if we were witnessing a real-life scene of, I don't even want to picture it, some film, some gory film, a snuff film. Brian, his fur matted with blood, turned to face the creature. Peter was just a vessel, it rasped, its voice a guttural growl. But Lewis, her brain, it fuels me. I'm almost out of time. The creature's gaze seemed to shift, to lock onto us, as if it could see through the screen. Get off the channel, Brian barked, his voice filled with desperation. He's found a way into the real world. He's coming for anyone who watches it. The screen abruptly switched to a commercial for the Amazing World of Gumball, a jarring transition that momentarily broke the spell. We breathed, a collective sigh of relief. Whew. Thinking it was over, Jake, however, tried to exit the video. The channel bar flashed on the screen, but instead of the usual options, it read, PETA. A chilling silence descended upon us. Did you see that? My voice barely a whisper. Sarah, still visibly shaking, nodded slowly. It said PETA. The video returned, this time, however, focusing on the dining room. The children sat around the table, each clutching a revolver, their faces pale and drawn. The creature reappeared, its twisted grin widening. Huh? I thought I was going to bite one of you, Stewie remarked, his voice trembling. Before he could finish, the creature lunged. The children fired their guns, but the bullets seemed to pass harmlessly through its grotesque form. Stewie, with a desperate cry, activated his ray gun, blasted the creature, forcing it to recoil. The creature, it ran upstairs. The children were hot on their heels. They were running. The camera angle at this point shifted, focusing on a dark, ominous hallway. The door to a room creaked open, revealing a scene of imaginable horror. A baby's wail, high-pitched and frantic, echoed through the house, followed by a blood-curdling scream. The tearing sound returned, amplified, more horrific than before. Even worse, my ears were hurting at this point. Then the creature emerged, Stewie's head clutched between his jaw. With a sickening crunch, it crushed his skull. The creature turned, its demonic face filling the screen, its eyes burning with an unholy light. It lunged towards the camera, its distorted features growing larger and larger. Then the screen went black. We sat in stunned silence, our hearts pounding in our chest. Did you get that on camera? I asked, my voice barely whispering. Jake and Sarah shook their heads, their faces pale and drawn. They were too frightened to even speak. The silence was shattered by a loud banging on the front door. We exchanged terrified glances, our eyes wide with fear. We consciously peered out the window. Standing on the porch was the creature, its hooves pounding against the door, its eyes locked onto ours. Oh, God, Jake whispered, his voice barely audible. Oh, God, it's here. Jake grabbed Sarah and me, dragging us up the stairs. We huddled together in the bathroom, our breath coming in ragged gasps. The pounding on the door intensified, the creature moving with unnatural speed. We held our breath, praying it wouldn't find us. The pounding continued for what it felt like an eternity. Then it stopped. Silence. We waited, our hearts pounding for what felt like hours. Then slowly, cautiously, we crept out of the bathroom. The house was very silent. The creature seemed to be gone. We spent the night huddled together, whispering to each other, recounting the horrors we just witnessed. The next morning, we called the police, of course. Our voice was trembling as we described the events of the previous night. The police officers, which were initially skeptical, they were all stunned when we showed them the video footage. Their faces were pale as they watched the creature's grotesque rampage, the children's terrified screams echoing through the room. They confiscated the laptop, claiming it was linked to a possible criminal investigation. Later, while waiting at McDonald's, our hands were trembling as we tried to just sip some coffee that cost like about $1.50. We revisited the video. We noticed something we had missed before, a shadowy figure lurking in the background. A man standing beside the creature. The police took a photo, but no one could explain what it was. We were left with more questions than answers, haunted by the memory of the creature's demonic face. News of the incident spread quickly. Seth MacFarlane himself, the creator of Family Guy, he heard about it and requested to see the footage. We tried to warn him, begged him not to, but he insisted. He even set up a security camera to record himself watching the video. The next day, he contacted us. His voice, a mixture of shock and disbelief. "I saw it," he said. "The same creature. I saw it too." Now as I write this, the memory of that night still haunts me. I tell everyone I know about Family Die, warning them not to watch it, not to risk their lives for a cheap thrill. I've learned my lesson. Some things are better left undisturbed. Don't watch Family Die. It's not a joke. Your life is worth more than that cursed video. And that's it. That's the story. Well, if you guys, by the way, I like this story a lot. Thank you so much, Shaza. I appreciate you sending me this story through email. You contacted me through the business email on the email that I have on the YouTube account. That was pretty cool. And I'm glad I got to record and finally upload this video for the world to see. Thank you guys so much for all the support that I always get on the comments and everywhere else. Keep subscribing and sharing the video and sharing the channel. I love you guys. Peace out.